Is 6:45 PM, Monday, July 25th, 2022, and I'd like to call to order the study session meeting of the Farmers Branch Planning and Zoning Commission. First up in the study session, A1, discuss regular agenda items, which takes us to C1, nomination and election of the vice chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission and take appropriate action. We postponed this from last week, given that our candidates weren't all present. So I think be interested to hear who is interested in this position, and then maybe say a few words. And then I think the plan will be, we'll have those who are interested in the position exit while we have some discussion. And then we'll set up and be ready to take the official vote downstairs, but have our plan in order.
Sure.
Who's interested?
Well, as I made the motion last time, since Andy wasn't here, and I know that Andy had an interest in the position, and I've also become interested in the position, so I think now that Andy's here, to give him a chance to speak towards that opportunity, and then I can follow you since you weren't here last week.
Oh, sure.
Or last session.
Well, I have been on the committee since 2020. I've been a permanent member for maybe a year, a little bit more now. I live on the west side, so I feel like that's particularly important in that we're redoing the comprehensive plan, and there's a particular focus on the west side. The other part about this is that we are making decisions that are literally affecting what goes behind my backyard. So I have a vested, my mailbox, so I have a vested interest in what's going on here. I have 2 kids that go to school here. I moved to put down roots in Farmers Branch, so I'm happy to be here. The question about me not being here for a couple of meetings, my grandfather only turns 90 once, and so that was an inconvenient time. But this is a number one commitment in my life. So, and as my previous track record to this summer has shown, prior to this summer with my grandfather's 90th birthday and he's getting set for trial, the only time I've missed a Planning and Zoning Commission was the night before my son was born. So I am highly committed to this committee. And as I told Roger on the phone before we did this, I'm happy to support Roger if the committee chooses him. This is not about ride or die. I love the work that we do, and I'm here to do it. I do have a unique skill set as an attorney. I'm very comfortable working with both the council and the materials and with the lawyers. And I also worked for, I did some work with the Austin City Council and in state politics. So I'm good with public forums. I'm good with people. I think I got the skills to get it done. So I would humbly ask for your vote for vice chair.
Vice Chair.
Well, much like he said, I also agree that regardless of who obtains this vice chair position, it doesn't diminish our vote in any way, and we still will be as involved in other committee things. But I would just like to advocate my strong interest in the position as well, and ask for your vote, such that I've not, since I came on the commission, I've not missed any meetings. And I also have a great interest in the comprehensive plan as he does. And to that end, I attended the Planning and Zoning and City Council joint meeting on the comprehensive plan because I knew that was a very important thing for us to be all involved with. So I also made the previous City Council P&Z meeting. So I think that my record speaks for my commitment in not missing any of the meetings. I also attended and went on the various trips that we had to freezing cold Richardson and then down into Fort Worth. So
In the rain.
I think
That
it
was
just
the
sort of
rain, right?
speaks towards my
Yeah.
commitment here to this commission, and would humbly ask for your support on the vice chairmanship position. Thanks.
Does it hurt that we don't have everybody here?
Thank you for saying that. I was gonna say it too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think there's 3 people that aren't here that should be here. And it would be, I think, unfair to have 3 of us.
3 of us
You
select.
guys, I presume we're gonna vote for each other.
Yeah.
Right.
So now it's just at least 3 of us to kind of put the vote up. And I think it would help if everybody was here, or at least a larger majority of the board be here.
I don't disagree. It just continues to put the pressure on you, Gio, to stay vice chair until,
I didn't see my name next to, on the agenda next to my name, but,
or we go on without one. But no, I'd hate to have you 3 have to make the decision, but I defer to the chair that if you do want to make the decision, you can. But Gia does have a point.
Well, I would propose that we wait, really. I think that these other members, and if I were not here, I would like to have that vote also, if I wasn't able to make it. So I think that, do you, Amber, look at being out maybe and Gio having to take over for you, or?
I don't anticipate being absent for any upcoming meetings, barring illness.
And I think if I may just add, the upcoming or the next scheduled PNZ meeting, it's a bit ways off on August 22nd. So just keep that in mind. We will be pushing it off till August 22nd.
There's no urgency, though.
No, I just wanted you to know that the next meeting would be August 22nd.
It's from-
That would
so
be my
all of us-
next
all of us
question.
probably
In
here.
terms of, things that we're trying to accomplish between then and now would be potentially things related to the comprehensive plan that I'm sure you'll bring up in our update as far as public outreach that's occurring earlier. And I think we'll all have our various roles of involvement in that regardless of the vice chair
Yeah, it
status.
wouldn't really impact that because you all have collectively already agreed to appoint or recommend your chairwoman Rayleigh and Commissioner Miller. So both names are on the roster to be considered by the council on August 2nd. So the election of vice chair would not impact anything that happens between now and the next PNC meeting. But at the end of the day, it's all of you all's decision.
Does council have to approve vice chair or?
No.
No,
Okay.
we were talking about the comprehensive plan and the stakeholder advisory committee and any of the activities that will be happening between now and next PNC meeting. It should not impact.
Perfect.
Well, given this discussion, would anyone like to make a motion?
Actually, we are not making a
Oh, we'll
motion,
do that
we'll do that in the regular.
Yeah.
But thank you for having the discussion, I think that's what.
Good. All
To
right.
give your speeches again.
Man, I don't know if I'll be able to remember that.
I was off the hook, off the cuff here. I'll have to
From the replay.
What's the
on
campaign
recording.
spending limits on this? $10,000 a person.
All right, so I think we have our plan for the meeting there. Item C2, consider approval of the July 11th Joint Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action. Any corrections, typos, updates to the minutes as received in your packet?
The only question I have, because Roger is on our Robert's Rules of Order here, are we going to, I think it threw Chairman Moore through a loop every time anybody abstained who was not present for the meeting, voting on the minutes. Or we need to do that, because if I'm not here, I can't approve the minutes.
Right. Unless you watch the recording.
Which, no one should ask me, because that's embarrassing.
I believe
But
I
yeah.
did not understand the question. So when you mentioned that if someone is not present for the meeting,
Yeah.
should they be acting on the minutes?
Right, they
On
have to
past-
abstain from the vote on the minutes.
Do they have to or not?
They do.
So you were just stating that they have to?
Right, so so when she calls for the vote downstairs, I highly recommend she say all those in favor, all those opposed, all those abstaining.
I believe from past city attorneys' advice on those matters, it's really up to the commission or the person who is absent.
I can vote on minutes because I trust y'all. I just think it's
I think what I hear you saying, Shrupa, is that the person who's not present, it's up to them to note that they abstain
Yes.
I see. Okay,
in the
It
flow
should not
of
be the chair's call to, enforce that, okay, you weren't there, so you should not vote.
I do that for every Dallas Association of Young Lawyers board meeting. Every one, I ask for present, absent, or abstained. So
Abstained, yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So I understand the question, but I think, well, hopefully it's not an issue if you're
Sure,
here.
sure.
So,
Just letting you know for today. Someone's gonna
Yes.
tell you I'm abstaining.
yes, thank you for that update. All right, item C3, consider approval of the July 11th, 2022 regular Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action. Same story there. And any corrections, typos, anything from that minutes? No? Okay. Item C4, consider the request for BDB Farmers Branch LLC for final plat approval for terraces at B, addressed at 13325 B Street, and take appropriate action. Who will be presenting?
Sarah Bergman.
Yeah, any questions on that item? It's pretty straightforward. It's a single lot plat for a condo development. And staff recommends approval.
Any questions, commissioners?
Is there a presentation on that? I'm trying to flip that. My thing is not loading as I'm rolling through here, so.
There
The
are,
presentation might not be on the packet.
No, well, we have a PowerPoint we'll present
Okay.
downstairs, but it'll be pretty quick.
Yeah, usually we don't attach.
I think all the relevant information is in the package.
Already, yeah.
Just not put together as a presentation.
Yeah, the staff report and the exhibits are
Right.
in there.
All right. So that
So that would
take us
Take
then
you
to A2, an update regarding comprehensive plan public engagement efforts.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman. I wanted to take this opportunity as some of you might know that we are, of course, getting ready for the first engagement push. Going back to the July 11 joint meeting where we talked about the overall public engagement efforts and the plan. And the consultant has proposed this public engagement in 3 phases, if you will. So there will be 3 engagement push, and they want to combine multiple events and efforts in each push and gear towards a certain stage of the study. So for example, this first one between August 3rd and 5th will be geared towards the visioning exercise. It's basically the first step of the comprehensive planning process. To that effort, I do have a flyer that I want to hand out, and I'll also email everyone the flyer, including the commissioners who were not able to attend tonight. This is advertising the workshop at the Mercer Crossing that is scheduled for August 4th, starting at 6:30. It's kind of a come and go format. We are inviting as many residents as possible to attend this event where the consultant and staff will be available in person. It would be set up in a more exercise format, not necessarily a presentation format. And we'll have 6 stations set up, as it says in the flyer, where there will be maps and boards and easels and things where it would be more interactive. Where people can provide their input, what they foresee for 20 years, what they like, what they don't like, where they see their city to grow and be in the next 20 years.
Are you distributing one of these? So this is just for Mercer. Are you doing like pockets across town, or are you
So-
just doing this one? for
So
all?
basically, the plan is, when we discussed the public engagement with council members before the contract was signed and when we were first envisioning this study process, it has always been the undercurrent within the city that we have all the new residents coming to the city's west side who sometimes don't feel that they are involved, and because all the city facilities are in the central area, most of the amenities are focused in the central area. So when we talked about public engagement efforts, we suggested that we will spread out the engagement efforts throughout the city. We will not be restricted towards the central area or the city owned facilities.
So you would change each time you do one? You don't
Yes.
do the same one all over? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
So what we are starting on the west side, and then the goal would be the next engagement push, which would happen around November. We don't have the dates and the weeks finalized yet. That would be finalized later and shared with the group. That event would probably happen somewhere within the central part of the town. And then the last engagement push, which would be more implementation strategy focused, that would be towards the east part of the town. So that way we have a balanced effort where we are trying to invite everyone, but location-wise, we are also being strategic to involve everyone as much as possible. Besides the in-person event, during the same time frame, and probably actually longer, maybe over the 2-week time period, there will be online polls and surveys available on the website, the link that is provided on the flyer. So people who cannot participate in person can also give feedback online.
And that's what this is, this
That
QR
and also on
code?
the
Because
website.
I'm out of time this, so I can go to the QR code, which I have it pulled up now.
And also there is a website, there is a web page that is set up for comprehensive plan itself. The link, I believe, is there,
Is that just-
farmersbranchtx.gov /city vision. I think they created the name, but the actual link, you can go to it through our department webpage too, on the city's website. If you go there, they will be posting the online poll and the story map where you can provide feedback if you're unable to attend in person.
So at each station that they have, are they gonna have people to ask their questions, each one?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, so it would be manned by, as I said, but both staff as well as the consultants. So we will be facilitating those conversations. So each exercise will talk about, okay, if there's a map, what are we talking about? And residents will have opportunity to provide their input on like boards, like write comments on a Post-it note or put like tags on map, stuff of that nature.
Have you looked at this, what the QR code brings up? Have you looked at it? It's pretty nice. It has the phase 1, 2, 3, and then it's got photos. I didn't know if those are gonna be at the thing, because it has comprehensive plan, central area plan, east side plan, west side plan, I-35 corridor vision study. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff on here that's not gonna be in that. Are they all gonna be within this, like?
Is it taking you to the
four-quarter
website?
report?
It's taking you to the
Probably will take
website.
To each one of those, okay, got it.
We must all be on it because my phone won't even load it, so we're.
We're all looking, well, I got on there first, maybe my.
Maybe I can just pull it up on here.
Oh, I got it now. I got it. Yeah,
Are we,
it's all the plans, yeah.
Yeah.
what time is our being downstairs? Are we supposed?
Seven. But
Are we
we
gonna
can-
have this discussion downstairs, continue further, or just here?
We can have the
Because I have some
discussion here.
questions about this, but
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know.
And one of the, from our Open Meetings Act and the rules, we cannot start before the posted time, but we can
Sure.
sometimes extend.
I didn't mean to interrupt. You were about to
No,
do
no,
something.
I
just-
was just gonna pull up the webpage.
It came up.
This is just essentially Farmers Branch site, I think, because it says I can pay my bill. I can online payments,
Yeah, the
trash
Q,
and recycling.
So
Adopt
what
a
is
pet.
this, what is this second one in November?
So as I was mentioning, the public engagement efforts, and let me walk them through the webpage first. So under governments, under departments, if you go to our webpage, under long-range plans, so that's one way of going to this. And also, see on the very top, there is a comprehensive plan, kind of a subpage. So if you click on that, that takes you directly.
yeah, and then you can still scroll down to the other city services things. That's the perma bar. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
This is
Yeah,
good.
so that's the overall webpage format for the city, so we can't take that out.
question, so people have to go to the website to get this if they're not gonna be there. We're not sending out stuff via email like we've done before.
Yes, we are. So, for example, I've been reaching out to city council members, and I'd like to acknowledge 2 of the council members are with us. They just joined us.
Yes.
And also, I have been reaching out to neighborhood block party organizers, other resident emails that we have. Also, the newsletter that goes to the residents every Thursday, that will include the flyer and this information. Rachel Johnson, our marketing manager, she has done a post on our city's social media page, Facebook and Twitter and all of that. So we're trying
Is it also
everything
gonna
at
go
our
out in
disposal.
utility bills? That'd be really cool.
Actually, I have been told that that's a method that's kind of getting old and people don't always.
Well, but I could put it up on my fridge.
Like it.
We can always try and see.
For
But
the
that's
old
what I have
people,
been
we
told by
like it.
people who are way smarter than me and into marketing than
Yeah,
I
oh
am.
goodness. Okay.
Actually, this time as an email.
And so we are trying every avenue as possible to reach people. We'll be reaching out to the relevant boards and commissions, any of the volunteers that we have contact information with. Besides the online and this town hall format of meeting, we are going to do focus interviews with realtors, developers, but that's purely with the consultants based on the areas of expertise and the targeted audience where they will be talking to them outside of this time. Commissioner Javala, I don't know whether I answered your question. You asked me whether this event is only for the.
No, you did.
Market. Okay.
You just said Giovanna, all that kind of.
Javala. Okay, sorry.
It's the name of that coffee brand.
You're good. Yes, you did answer the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this first one is discovery,
Yes.
visioning,
Visioning.
visioning. The other parts of the city have a visioning opportunity as well, or is this only the one visioning?
So what we are trying to say is that even though location-wise, we are trying to spread it out, does not mean that the rest of the city is not invited. Because we are inviting
Right.
all the residents, and this event is open for all the city residents. So it's really not effective or possible for us to have a big public event 3 times during the same time period. So the first event, which is visioning, the goal is to have the whole city participate, as many people as possible, either virtually or in person through this vision exercise. The second phase, which would be more about the actual plan chapters or the content and how the feedback was received and how that is being molded into the plan. That exercise, which will happen in the central area, the goal would still be to involve everyone and not just the
Yeah.
location where this event is happening. And then at the tail end, the implementation, the same thing.
And will you be taking feedback from the other parts of the city? For example, I can see having this in Mercer Crossing, a lot of the Mercer Crossing people likely show up, it's close by, it's easy for them to come. But maybe the folks on the west side, maybe not so much. But
West
yes,
side
certainly
or-
they're, I'm sorry, east side, maybe they're not so
Well,
easily to go or something.
hopefully the council person for that area, I know my council person's very active. I know this council person's very active in contacting their constituents, and hopefully that's one way to,
What I want to
Push.
avoid is the west side vision not working along with the east side vision. You know, if these are the visioning coming from the people on the west side driving the vision, then maybe the east
Yeah, I
east
don't-
side folks
yeah.
might get.
When
a
we
little-
had the other bond stuff for the community, it all came, everybody was very, very involved, everywhere they lived,
Yeah.
no matter what it was.
No, I understand the intent.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's really good. I just want to.
I think it'll work. I think this sounds
Sure.
good. I like it.
And I think we're fortunate in that the city is only 12 square miles, so
Yes,
it's not
I think so.
that far to traverse.
Do I have to walk to the east side? Maybe I can ride my armed
Bicycle, maybe, yeah.
Get those bike lanes put in.
I understand, it's a valid concern that, that is the goal, that is the honest
I
goal,
understand,
that
I
we
understand.
want to involve everyone. But location-wise, it's just not logistically possible to have the same workshop, like 3 different locations and during the same time. But our goal would be to have as many residents participate, and that's where we'll be looking for your help too. Just as Commissioner Bertle mentioned, we are reaching out to the council members for that reason also. We're requesting help.
Sure.
Spread the word, let as many people know as possible.
Yeah, good.
And I don't know why anyone noticed this. There would be refreshments and swag and prizes.
I noticed it, but I'm
I was
not.
gonna ask, but then I thought, it'd be too immature of me to be like, what's the prize?
What's the prize? Yes.
My kids will wanna know, will there be popsicles?
That has been brought up. Maybe.
Hey, we went to that Rotana event that was held there, and she brought that, the Mexican popsicles, and they had coconut, watermelon, and my kids were just.
Yeah, wow. That's good.
Good to know. Anything further? on-
No, I think that's what I had. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for listening, and I'd really be excited to see you all there.
All right, item A3, discuss agenda items for future Planning and Zoning Commission consideration. Commissioners, any items you'd like to put forth?
Do we have a lot on the agenda coming up or, a while? I mean,
For August?
we're just really, I mean, I'm really hoping we can get back. I'm on here only one more year, and I'm really hoping we can get to the trees.
Yes,
And the plantings and all of that.
don't know whether we can talk about it because it's not posted, but it is coming up.
Okay, good.
Is there a way to, we can vote to bump that to the top of the list? Because I want Commissioner Burtle to get her trees. We're gonna call them
The right
Burtle's
trees,
Boima.
yeah. The correct trees, yeah.
It is on a future study session agenda and immediate future city council study session agenda for discussion.
Perfect.
Great. All right.
Ready?
Well, that concludes our study session meeting at 7:10, and we'll see you downstairs.
I was gonna suggest we learn more about the free.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the commissioners for their service tonight. I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting Monday, July 25th, 2022. It is presently 7:17 a.m. or p.m. First, I'd like to announce citizen comments. This agenda provides an opportunity for citizens to address the Planning and Zoning Commission on any matter that is not posted on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the commission should complete a citizen comments registration form and submit it to the chair prior to the start of the meeting. There is a 3-minute time limit for each citizen to speak, with a reasonable limitation on speakers on one topic or item, with a maximum of 15 total minutes on the same topic item. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. The Planning and Zoning Commission is not permitted to take action on any subject raised by a speaker during citizen comments. However, the Planning and Zoning Commission may have the item placed on a future agenda for action, refer the item to the Director of Planning for further study or action, briefly state existing city policy, or provide a brief statement of factual information in response to the inquiry. Do we have any citizen comments this evening? Seeing none, we will proceed to the regular agenda items. Item C1, nomination and election of the Vice Chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and take appropriate action.
I would like to move that we put this off until we have our other 3 members. We are missing 3 members of this committee, and I move that we move this forward till next meeting.
A second from
My
Andy
mic
Jones.
wasn't on. There we go. Second.
We have a motion for Commissioner Birdall, a second from Commissioner Jones. And do we have any discussion on the item? All right. Seeing no discussion, let's go ahead and take that for a vote. All those in favor of the motion to delay the nomination and election of the Vice Chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission for the next meeting of this commission? It is unanimous. Thank you. Item C2, consider approval of the July 11th Joint Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
All right.
Second.
All right. Motion for Commissioner Birdall, second from Commissioner Zavala. Any discussion on the item?
Yeah, I find just one small spelling correction under the, I guess it's page 3 under S, or 22 SU03. They misspelled the word specific use. It's septic use, so something to that effect.
I'm sure staff will
wanna
make that
correct that.
correction.
I believe we are considering the joint meeting minutes, but that is a good point, and we'll account that correction when we consider the
Sure.
regular. thing.
Perhaps it leaked
Thank
out
you.
of the minutes and leaked into the other one, septic uses.
I would like to note, just a question really. I know that we recategorized that meeting as technically a planning and zoning meeting with the privileged guests of some of our council members. I assume that will be represented. I know it's in the minutes themselves, but in the title as well. I don't know how that works.
It can still be called, I believe, the joint meeting, even though the city council did not convene, because it wasn't a specially called meeting. It was always on schedule to be a joint meeting. That's how we distinguished, but it's mostly semantics. But if you'd like us to call it something different, we'd be happy to make that change.
I think joint is sufficient, but I just wanted to clarify as we're talking about it. All right, we'll have a vote. All right, vote to approve the July 11th, 2022 Joint Planning and Zoning Commission minutes. And
As I am not voting, I am abstaining.
note that Commissioner Jones is abstaining as he was not present during the meeting. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Grandpa only turns 90 once.
All right, item C3, I'd like to consider approval of the July 11th, 2022 regular Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action. Anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Okay,
With the correction of the misspelled word for special use.
fantastic. A second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Bertle. Any additional discussion or comments? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Who would like to vote to approve the July 11th, 2022 regular Planning and Zoning Commission minutes? All in favor?
As I'm not voting, I am abstaining.
Thank you. Item C4, I would like to consider the request from BDB Farmers Branch LLC for final plat approval of terraces at B addressed at 13325 B Street and take appropriate action. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes. Good evening, Commissioners. Sarah Bergman, Senior Planner with the Planning Department. Item C4 is a proposed final plat for 0.76 acres of land located at the northwest corner of B Street and Vintage Street. The site is addressed as 13325 B Street, and it's located within Plan Development PD 86, which is our station area code. And you can see the location map on the right. A site plan was approved for this development in 2019. It's shown on the screen. 4 condominium buildings were proposed with a total of 21 units. At this time, buildings 2 and 4 have been constructed, and then buildings 1 and 3 are intended to start construction later this year. Because this is a condo development, the site is being platted as a single lot, and here is the enlarged view. You can see the property boundaries as well as the proposed easements, and that includes a 20-foot access easement and 15-foot utility easement, and this matches the configuration shown on the approved site plan. You'll also see at the south end of the site, there is a right-of-way dedication for Vintage Street. This matches the alignment of Vintage Street on the east side of B Street, and at this time, 24 feet of right-of-way are being dedicated. That's half of the eventual width of Vintage Street. When the site to the south redevelops, the other half would be dedicated at that time. But for now, 24 feet are dedicated. This will function as a one-way road with on-street parking, sidewalk, and landscaping as depicted in the PD. Oh, sorry. If approved, this site would become Lot 1, Block A of the Terraces at B subdivision, and the plat is consistent with all state and local requirements for platting. Staff recommends approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I believe the applicant is also here.
Commissioners, any questions for staff?
I think I can ask you, maybe we need to call them up. So 2 have been constructed, and are they completed? They're completely completed?
Yes, the first 2 buildings have been constructed, and then they're in the process of obtaining
Being
COs. One of the conditions for obtaining the CO is platting the
Let's do
property.
the plat, okay. Got it. But they're ready to be leased?
Yes.
All right, any questions for the applicant? Applicant, do you have a presentation you'd like to give, or? Okay. All right.
I move to approve.
All right. Commissioner Jones makes a motion to approve the final plat of Terraces at B, Lot 1, Block A.
I'll second.
A second from Commissioner Andy, sorry, Commissioner Neal. Any discussion?
Call the question. That's what I say. Call the question is to call the vote.
Okay. We'll take a vote to approve the final plat of Terraces at B, Lot 1, Block A. All in favor? All right, it is unanimous. Congratulations. This goes to council.
Nope, we're final
That
authority.
process ends at P and Z.
Got it. Congratulations.
When do you start then, the final, the other 2 buildings?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
When do you start the other 2 buildings?
Meeting.
The plans are finished, and as soon as the final plat is completed,
But we can,
Commissioner,
for
Commissioner.
permitting, probably in the next 2 weeks.
Commissioner Bertle, if you don't mind letting the applicant come up to the microphone and state their name and address, please, for record. Thank you.
My name is Scott Marslick. I'm with Blue Diamond Builders. My address is 580 Dove Creek Circle in Grapevine, Texas, and I'm the construction project manager for this project.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So quickly, would you just give us kind of an update as to, you're getting ready to start, and when are those going to be completed, and then you're going to start leasing?
Yes, buildings 2 and 4 are completed, and we've been allowed to have a few people move in as they've okayed that. And the buildings 1 and 3, the plans are completed by the architect, and we will be submitting those for permit as soon as we possibly can to start those to finish the whole development as quickly as possible. Our expectation is that we'll have those completed in 6 to 8 months.
Good, thank you.
Any further questions for the applicant? All right, congratulations again.
Thank you so much, everyone.
And we will adjourn the meeting. It is now 7:28. Thank you so much.
Off to Mo.